They may look old, dirty, and forgotten, but some of these quarter dollars are hiding jaw-dropping secrets. Imagine finding one of these treasures in your change. It could turn your ordinary day into an unforgettable discovery. Before you toss away those dull, dusty coins, grab a magnifying glass, because one of them might just be your golden ticket to fortune. Let's reveal the top 5 most rare and valuable old quarter dollars that could make you rich overnight. Imagine finding a regular old 1965 Washington quarter in your pocket change. Dull, scratched, maybe even dirty. You toss it on the table, never realizing that tiny coin might be worth a fortune. Yes, it's true. Some 1965 quarters have shocked collectors and investors worldwide by selling for astronomical prices. What makes these coins so valuable is not just their age, but a mystery minting error that turned ordinary silver-colored quarters into rare treasures of American history. The historical background. The year everything changed. The year 1965 was one of the most dramatic turning points in U.S. coinage history. Until 1964, all Washington quarters were made from 90% silver and 10% copper. But due to a massive silver shortage and rising production costs, the U.S. Mint made a groundbreaking change. Starting in 1965, quarters would be made with a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of silver. This decision was meant to save money, but it accidentally created one of the most valuable error coins in history, the 1965 silver quarter error. The true value of the 1965 error quarter. Not every 1965 quarter is valuable, of course. The vast majority are the regular clad coins worth 25 cents, maybe a little more if in mint condition. But those few rare errors struck on silver planchets, or showing other unusual features, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars, even more in pristine grades. Regular 1965 clad quarter, circulated face value, about 25 cents to $1.00 mint state. MS65 plus $10 to $30 proof. Like or special strike. SMS $100 to $5,001,965 silver quarter error. Low grade. $5,000 to $10,000 mid grade. $15,000 to $25,000 high grade. MS65 plus $40,000 to $75,000 plus exceptional examples. Over $100,000 to $200,000 plus double die or off-center 1965 errors. $200 to $5,000 depending on strength and visibility. Collision, the record sale. A 1965 silver error quarter authenticated by PCGS sold for a mind-blowing $160,000 at auction. Some experts believe that if a perfect, uncirculated example were found today, it could easily cross the $1 million mark. How to identify a rare 1965 error quarter? Want to know if the quarter in your hand could make you a millionaire? Here's exactly what to look for. Check the edge. A regular clad quarter shows a brownish copper stripe on the edge. A silver quarter has a solid silver edge. No copper color at all. Weigh your coin. Regular clad 1965 quarter, 5.67 grams silver quarter, 6.25 grams. Use a precise digital scale. If your coin weighs around 6.2 g, congratulations. You might have a silver error. Look for mint luster. Silver quarters shine differently. A brighter, whiter tone compared to the duller gray of clad coins. Check for mint errors. Other valuable mistakes include double die obverse/reverse. Letters or numbers appear doubled. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, or missing clad layer errors. Get it certified. The only way to confirm your find's authenticity is to have it graded and verified by PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. They'll test its metal content and issue an official certification. High-voltage chart increasing auction highlights. When pennies turn to gold. Over the years, several 1965 error quarters have stunned the numismatic world. 1965 silver quarter, PCGS MS62, sold for $16,450. Heritage auctions. 1965 silver quarter, PCGS MS64, sold for $35,0001965 silver quarter. NGC MS66, estimated value $85,0001965. Transitional error. Silver planchet sold for a jaw-dropping $160,000 in a private auction. Experts believe the total. Known surviving examples of genuine silver 1965 quarters are less than 10, making it rarer than most gold coins in American history. Imagine flipping through your loose change, old coins jingling in your hand, and one quarter catches your eye. It looks ordinary at first glance, but what if I told you that some 1966 Washington quarters have sold for thousands? even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the rarest examples could be worth a fortune, maybe even millions. That's right. A coin you might think is just 25 cents could actually be a hidden jackpot. These ultra-rare 1966-era quarters have become a hot topic among collectors, investors, and treasure hunters. Each one tells a story of minting mistakes, forgotten history, and incredible luck. The story behind the 1966 Washington quarter. The year 1966 was a pivotal time in U.S. coin history. Just 1 year earlier, in 1965, the mint had made a monumental decision. Silver coins were discontinued due to the rising price of silver. This marked the end of an era. From 1965 onward, quarters were made from a copper-nickel clad composition, no longer 90% silver as they had been since the early 1930s. But that transition wasn't perfect. Mistakes happened, and those mistakes are what makes certain 1966 quarters worth a fortune today. The incredible value of the 1966-era quarters, 0FF, center strike error $100 to $1, 500, double die obverse or reverse $200 to $2, 500 plus. Missing clad layer error $500 to $5, 000, broad strike or misaligned die $300 to $1, 000, silver planchet error, ultra rare, $10, 000 to $50, 000 plus. High-grade silver transitional error, PCGS/NGC MS65 plus, $75, 000 to $200, 000 plus. Exceptional examples, uncirculated, proof-like, up to $500,000 to $1 million. Collision record auction highlight. A 1966 Washington quarter struck on a silver planchet was authenticated by PCGS and sold for nearly $45,000 at auction. Experts believe that if a perfect MS67 Plus or MS68 example is ever found, it could easily break the six-figure mark, possibly reaching $250,000 or more. Famous auction sales and market demand. Over the years, several 1966 quarters have made headlines for their extraordinary sale prices. 1966 Silver Transitional Quarter, sold for $45,000. Heritage Auctions, 2021. 1966 SMS Quarter MS68 DCM, sold for $13,200. Heritage Auctions, 2019. 1966 Missing Clad Layer Quarter, valued around $4, 500 off. Center 1966 Quarter, 50%. Sold for $3, 800. Each of these coins started as pocket change, but ended up becoming a collector's dream worth more than a luxury car. The SMS Special Mint Set, 1966 Quarter. Unlike normal mint or proof coins, the 1966 SMS Quarter was struck specially for collectors. These coins often show sharper strike satin-like finishes, minimal marks, while they are not silver. Some rare high-grade SMS examples have sold for $5,000 to $15,000. Especially those with deep cameo, DCM, contrasts. Have you ever picked up an old, dirty quarter and wondered if it might be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a simple 1973 Washington quarter dollar, something that looks just like spare change, could be hiding a secret that turns it into a coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars? That's right. Some of the rarest 1973-era quarters have stunned collectors and investors alike with their breathtaking auction values. History of the 1973 Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1973, the coin was made of a copper-nickel clad composition, 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, after silver was removed from circulating coins in 1965. Record auction values. Over the years, several 1973-era quarters have stunned coin enthusiasts at auctions. 1973 D Off-Center Strike Quarter, sold for $1,150 on eBay in 2021. 1973 D Clipped Planchet Quarter, MS64, auctioned at $875.1973. P Double Die Obverse Quarter, realized $2,350 in a private sale. 1973 Transitional Planchet Quarter, rumored sales near $15,000 for unique compositions. Collectors say the perfect storm of rarity, error type, and condition can push the value into the hundreds of thousands or even millions, especially if new undiscovered variants emerge. Man Detective: How to identify a rare 1973-era quarter. If you think you might have a valuable 1973 quarter, follow these steps carefully. Check the date and mint mark. Look for either D, Denver, or no mint mark, Philadelphia. Both mints produced potential error coins. Inspect with a magnifying glass. Examine Liberty, Indiana God we trust, and the date for signs of doubling or distortion. Look for color differences. A missing clad layer gives a coppery look. Check if one side appears brownish instead of silver gray. Examine the edges. Off-center or clipped planchets will show incomplete or irregular rims. Weigh the coin. A regular quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, it might be a transitional planchet or metal error. Tips for collectors. Always authenticate rare finds through a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Preserve your coins in protective holders. Never clean them, as it can drastically lower their value. Keep an eye on auction houses and collector websites. Prices for error coins can rise rapidly as new discoveries appear. Join numismatic forums and social media groups to stay updated on 1973 error quarter finds. Conclusion. The 1973 Washington quarter might seem like a common coin, but a rare error version could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars today. Whether it's an off-center strike, double die, missing clad layer, or transitional metal error, each one tells a story of mystery, luck, and opportunity. It turned into one of the most valuable error coins in U.S. history. The 1976 bicentennial quarter dollar. These unique treasures have shocked collectors at auctions worldwide, turning pocket change into small fortunes. So, stay with me to the end, because by the time you finish reading, you'll know exactly what makes these coins so valuable, how to identify a true rare 1976 bicentennial quarter error, and how you could be sitting on a life-changing discovery right now. United States. The story behind the 1976 bicentennial quarter, the bicentennial Washington quarter. Replace the traditional eagle reverse with a special design by artist Jack L. H.R., a majestic colonial drummer with a torch and 13 stars representing the original colonies. On the front, George Washington's familiar profile remained, but the date below changed from a single year to 1776 to 1976, symbolizing the spirit of independence. Record-breaking auction sales, 1976. Deep double die obverse, MS67. Sold for $3,600 at Heritage Auctions. 1976. S silver-proof deep cameo, PR70. Reached $13,500 at a private sale. 1976. D off-center strike quarter, MS65. Sold for $2,800 on eBay. 1976. S 40% silver planchet error. Rumored private sale over $50,000 to unconfirmed 1976 silver transitional planchet error. Estimated worth could exceed $100,000 to $250,000 if discovered. These coins remind collectors that the most valuable treasures can sometimes be found in the most ordinary pockets. Man Detective: How to identify a rare 1976 error bicentennial quarter. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you check if your coin is a hidden gem. Look at both sides carefully. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, 10x zoom. Check the date, Liberty, In God We Trust, and United States of America for doubling or distortion. Check for clipped or missing areas. A coin that isn't perfectly round could be an off-center strike or clipped planchet. Feel the surface. Missing clad layer coins feel different. One side might be rough and copper-colored. Weigh the coin. Normal clad quarter equals 5.67 grams. Silver quarter equals 5.75 grams. If your coin weighs differently, it might be a wrong planchet error. Examine the edge. A two-tone edge, silver and copper, is normal, but a fully silver edge could mean it's a 40% silver error coin. Imagine digging through your old pocket change, maybe a handful of dusty coins from a drawer, and spotting a simple 1983 quarter. You think, it's just another Washington quarter. Some rare 1983 Washington quarter errors have stunned collectors at auctions, turning a mere 25-cent coin into an incredible life-changing treasure. The history behind the 1983 quarter. To truly understand why the 1983 Washington quarter is so special, we have to travel back to the early 1980s, a time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning through technical challenges. The United States Mint in Philadelphia was striking billions of coins yearly, and 1983 marked an especially difficult year. No mint sets were issued to collectors due to government budget cuts. That means high-quality 1983 examples are naturally rare. Most 1983 quarters entered everyday circulation, exposed to wear, scratches, and damage. Record-breaking auction sales, 1983 missing clad layer, MS65. Sold for $7,800 at Heritage Auctions. 1983 double die obverse, MS67. Sold for $6,000 in 2022. 1983 off-center strike, 40%. Sold for $3,250 on eBay. 1983p Broad Strike Error, MS66. Fetched $1,200.1983. P struck on copper planchet, 4.5 grams. Estimated private sale above $25,000. And here's the wild part. These weren't proof coins or silver issues. They were ordinary circulation coins, found in change or coin rolls. That means your next grocery store quarter could literally be worth more than a luxury car. Detective: how to identify a rare 1983p error quarter. Check the surfaces. Look for copper showing through, indicating a missing clad layer. Inspect the letters. See if Liberty or In God We Trust has ghosted outlines. DDO error. Flip the coin. Doubling on quarter dollar equals DDR. Check the shape. Off-center. Expanded rim. Might be a striking error. Weigh the coin. Normal, 5.67 g. Significantly lighter/heavier could mean wrong planchet. Edge inspection. Smooth edge equals broad strike. Discolored edge equals missing clad. Always use a digital scale and 10 times loop, and photograph your finds before cleaning or handling further. If you suspect a rare variety, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. That authentication could multiply its value many times over. Brain Trophy conclusion. The 1983p Washington quarter isn't just another piece of loose change. It's a symbol of how the smallest things can hide the greatest value. Born in a year when the mint skipped its collector sets and struck during one of the busiest production runs in history, the 1983p era quarters are true survivors. Accidents turned masterpieces.